Okay, boys and girls, it is Monday, and last week I did 2,700 push ups. Now, that's probably the most push ups I've ever done in a week, but basically, I am aiming for endurance, right? I want to do 10 sets of 100 push ups in one workout, and in order to get there, well, I'm gonna be having to do a lot of volume. And so, 2 weeks ago, I think I did 2,200. Last week, I did 2,700, and you put in a lot of work, you're gonna get a lot of results. And I really feel that my chest is evolving. I feel that I am able to go even through fatigue, but at the same time, it's a dangerous spot. You want to make sure that when you're on top of your game with endurance or any training at all for that matter, you also want to stay on top of your recovery. And if you don't, you will notice very quickly. So, for example, what happened to me last week is I started wasting my time on social media watching YouTube videos. I got less sleep. I also had some things going on where my diet wasn't on point. And so in a couple of days, I just noticed like before where I was doing the push-ups, I was able to recover. And even though I was feeling tired, I was able to get through those push-ups, and I was feeling stronger. And then, as soon as the recovery falls apart, then it starts to become too much, because the fatigue is piling up and the recovery isn't happening. It's like, you're getting in depth. It's like, putting off your homework and then noticing the day before the exam that you have a lot of work to do, right? It's kind of that way. And then everything crashes down. And so today, you're probably watching some sits right now. I did push ups. I was going to do originally 1 hour of EMOM with 25 reps, but I decided, hey, I'm too tired. Let's try a shorter EMOM instead. Let's try with 30 reps and perhaps 20 sets, right? That's less than half the reps. But even that was too difficult. Like all of a sudden, I didn't have any juice anymore. I couldn't go. And that's totally because of recovery. So, when it comes to this endurance stuff, I think it's very important slowly increase the volume, but also, make sure you stay on top of your recovery. And if you can't do that, then don't force the volume because you can only increase the volume when you're properly recovering. So for today, very disappointing, but I'm gonna stop at the 12 sets of 30 that I did. That's 360 push-ups. It's way less than last time when I did, or last week when I did 1,200 push-ups in my chest workout. But it is what it is. This week it will be a bit less volume, but it will allow me to get back on top of recovery again and then go harder next week, which, that's what we're aiming for. So what I'm going to do instead today is some more pull-ups. And this is just something I'm going to play around with when you're doing a lot of push, when you're doing a lot of endurance. Let's say you're specializing in the push-ups as well. You want to make sure that everything is balanced. So if you are specializing in a push movement, do some pulling movements as well, if you're specializing in a pulling movement, do some pushing movements because if you only do one of the two, your body is gonna get imbalanced. So I'm just gonna play around with some chin-ups actually, not pull-ups, but chin-ups, chest to bar, and yeah, get a couple reps in. I don't know how many yet, but I think I will just play around with 5 sets or something, and yeah, that will kind of put my shoulders back into place to do some more reps in a couple days. Okay, so for these pull-ups or chin-ups, again, the purpose is to basically fix my shoulder position, because when you're in a push-up, you're oftentimes, going forward with your shoulders protracting, and well, you get hunched, right? And so these chin-ups, when I do them, I try to pull my chest to the bar and basically retract my shoulders, because by retracting my shoulders, I can activate all of the small muscles in my back that will keep my shoulders from hinging. I will stand up more straight. And so when I'm doing these chin-ups, I go chest to bar. But if I have to, like, if I start to get weaker and I start compensating, basically I will start doing this. I will start hinging a little bit. I will start rounding my back in the pull-up or in the chin-up. And then, well, the point of the exercise kind of starts to go away, right? So what I do with these chin-ups is I don't go to complete failure. Instead, what I do is I go to a point where I can't pull myself with my chest to the bar anymore with retracted shoulders. I might be able to still pull myself chest to bar if I round my back, but then I'm no longer activating these little muscles in my back. So that's why I don't go to failure here. All of the other reps, with bad form would just be a waste of time. Kind of a different approach to the push-ups, I know, but that's how I'm doing it. And by doing so, I might be able to do these pull-ups more frequently and, fix my shoulders or prevent my shoulders from going bad in the first place. But that's gonna be it for today's workout. Very disappointing. I wanted to get, like 1,000 reps or something to get a good start on the week, but it looks like this week is gonna be a bit less volume in total. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do my best to sleep 8 hours or more. I'm gonna do my best to eat all of the good food I can, and then next week I'll be back to do some more push-ups, to get some more volume, to perhaps even surpass 3,000 reps in a week. That would be insane, right? So let's go for it. I'll see you tomorrow for leg day.